Okay.
Hey, welcome to the Grandfather channel, guys. We got an interesting topic, right? How are we going to be using FPV drones in war applications? What do you think of that topic, Jenna?
I it's a cool topic. Like I said, drones and military, that's how I got into it. That's what my father was into, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Except, I mean, his drones were the military life-size target drones that they could actually practice their live fire drills on, air to air, ground to air missiles and stuff, but not these. I mean, we're talking about these little guys right here for the most part, right?
Right.
And when I say these little guys, I'm not talking like this type of quality of drone used in military. I mean, like I'm sure some of them, but I mean that's expensive in a way, but not really what the Ukrainians are using for the most part. I mean, they're using foam FPV drones, simple
Oh, that's
systems,
just crazy.
camera, flight controller, so they can see where they're going and get it where it needs to go.
Jenna, I'm looking at my YouTube channel here, and I'm not showing that I'm live, but
Are you?
Stream,
Um,
yeah, StreamYard says I'm live, but I just was double check. Johnny, are we live? See, he's over there saying that he sees
there's
Bart
Johnny.
being
Johnny.
live. Johnny, are we
Johnny's on.
live? I don't
Um,
know what's going on with my display, but
Johnny says, yes, you are.
all right. Thank you, Johnny. I'm a little hamper here, guys, but yeah, one of the things that it's just got my mind going is how all these FPV pilots are flying over in Ukraine, right? And one of the things that I'm always guessing, okay, what I know you're using Crossfire, but I'm trying to determine what else you have there from the telemetry you see on from the goggles on the display that is coming back, that they're recording and actually sharing with us. You ever find yourself, thinking about all that technical stuff versus how they're striking them and all that stuff? I mean, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, yeah, right. I mean, because they are looking for the simplest, really most inexpensive way to do it because, they don't have a lot of money. So, what's going to give them the biggest bang for the buck? And again, no pun intended.
Yeah,
Um,
agreed. Hey, Marcus.
and
See, Marcus
yeah,
seems.
so I mean, like, what are they using? Like, I mean, what? I mean, it'd be great to have somebody like that. Like I know Ken Heron had a. So like a while ago, he had a drone pilot, FPV drone pilot on or somebody.
Yeah.
But it'd be great to interview these guys, just to
Well,
see pros and cons. What are
I
they
was.
doing? How far can it go? Battlefield conditions, like all this good stuff.
I know it's so interesting. I'm going to share my screen because I've been watching this one channel here. That's so I'm going to do an entire screen. It's going to be this one. Share it. And I'm going to hit the play button. I'm not sure if I hit the audio or not, but look at the stack of drones right here that this guy's making.
Wow.
So I'm going to turn down the volume, but you can see that these guys are making them by the masses. I mean, just masses. And they're flying them right into all these different locations. But, they're talking about using the FPV more for their eyes and I mean, the DJI picture drones, as I like to call them. Oh boy, sorry about that, guys. Let me remove that. It just, I mean, it's just so crazy how much stuff they're getting, or they're a lot of these people are using their own money to make these. From
Yeah.
the little research that I did for about an hour, we got chemistry teachers, we got all these other students, and just volunteering their time to make these what we're making. exactly
Yeah,
what we're doing.
I mean, there's the military drones that that they can buy with the two types that I think we provide for them. I think like 20-pound or 40-pound variety. But I obviously a lot more technologically able. But if they can take out these whatever, right? I mean, tanks and half tracks and armored personnel carriers and communication equipment and antennas and everything else, then and be very surgical about it,
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at this display
right?
taking out a radar. That's a plane, like you were saying. It looks like they're using a DJI here to drop it down on them too. I mean,
Yeah,
and I mean, that's
yep,
exactly what we do. Fly. We don't drop stuff like that on it. I mean, feel terrible for these folks, right? But looking at the telemetry, it's just crazy.
and I mean, it stinks. I mean, that's war. It's sure as heck isn't pretty, but
That just get out of the way of that one. don't let, don't let
yeah,
a, don't
it's
let that
I mean,
thing fly.
necessity is right. The mother of invention, and it's it really just highlights the power of this sort of technology.
But one of the other things that one of the other things that's really highlights things is okay, the technology's here, but you need a freaking good pilot. Okay. To go those distance and to be able to hit your target is not that easy deal. I mean, I've heard of a couple people that in our community that volunteer and have gone there. So I'm just wondering what their experience is like.
Yeah,
Would you do it?
would I do it?
Go pilot?
I don't know. Well, I mean, just to get up and go, probably not. I have a few other irons in the fire right at the moment, but I just think it's really, really interesting. This, the use of this tech, because you can learn so much. I mean, because we fly recreationally, but these guys are literally flying for their lives, and what are the pros and cons? What can they get away with? How close do they need to be? Um, I,
Yeah, like I said earlier, there was chemistry teachers that had to do it to stay alive.
what's like payload considerations, frequency switching, because the Russians just need to jam either optics or their telemetry in the sense of okay, they can see, but now they can't do anything, right? Sticks or fro, whatever. So, like either one, they're down, and so um, learning from all of that is a different type of warfare now. It just
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing programs being shut down, right? Just to be able to allocate money to make some of the smaller programs like this, right? Because it's so economical and so precise. And we're looking here, this guy's looking at using a pair of fact sharks, and then they basically have them on simulators, man, training, and flying, and you can see that
mhm.
there's their payload, and from the looks of it, they're using like a 6S or 2200 or bigger, probably 5000 mH. Yeah, that's just crazy. Flew right into the open door compartment.
Yeah, and there are and a lot of these have their spotter drone, so they can actually see what's going on. Um, and so it's yeah, no, I mean, to me, it's interesting in a way, just because of my, my father's connection to it and how far it's come versus what he did, way back in the day. Just to take off full size fighter aircraft and not even see them actually on the runway. And
Yeah,
they don't have cameras or anything. They're just
right.
going by instruments.
Total instruments, yeah, and that's the true fly by wire, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you still have that joystick that your dad was honored with,
yep, right
from
up
that
there. Yeah,
program.
yeah,
That's just an incredible, incredible feat.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's going to change the way that I, in my view, I think. I mean, it could have impending legislation here, um, because it's so easy to weaponize these. And what does that mean, for our community, if anything? I mean, maybe it's nothing. I mean, it's already, a crime. I mean, you can't do it, but okay, fine. Criminals don't care, so that's why they're criminals. Um, and I am a little bit surprised that we haven't actually seen more of that sort of thing here. That element of terrorism, I guess. But I'm glad for sure. But in a war environment, I mean, it's a must. I mean, Ukraine started using them, and now the Russians are using them,
Yeah, yeah,
and they're using them in a sense, like just single target. But what if you do a whole swarm? What do you mean?
yeah. No, I agreed, and it was so funny. I was just, you were talking about the modifying of drones and being able to do whatever you need to do to them and all that. I was flying this weekend, and I was running train trusses, and that's hardened steel. And when you hit that against any carbon fiber does not stand a chance at all. So I broke an arm, but let me see if I can show you guys. I think I can switch cameras. Just go to the settings and go to the cameras and switch my camera to this guy. Okay, so this is a Frankenstein project here. It looks like if you look at the bottom of it, is this frame here, which is a baby hawk frame. And this has got a bad flight controller on it. And so I wrecked my HGLRC Sector 4 4-inch and broken arm completely. So I cut the arms off completely off this drone here, off this frame, and mounted it on the Baby Hawk frame. So I didn't have to do anything but just take off the motors, cut the arms off, and drop it into this frame because I didn't have anything that would fit to fly a 4-inch, and that's my Frankenstein project. That it actually worked. I got to fly with Rodney Bell today, and Danny from I'll Be Drone, and actually Rodney actually got to fly this thing, and it actually flew. I cut 2 frames into one right there. It's just crazy. I couldn't believe it worked. Have you been working on any projects, Jenna, or anybody on the? I'm going to switch cameras now.
No drone projects. We were just chatting beforehand, and yeah, just work, and then working around the house, working on projects, getting the house ready slowly for that move. Genesee and Tennessee.
Genesee and Tennessee. That's a good one. Hey, you starting to write country songs now?
Oh, I've always liked country.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Thomas Rhett, Jelly Roll. Oh my God, Jelly Roll.
Oh yeah, no, he's good.
Freaking rock the house. I went to see him in Virginia Beach. Crazy good. On a personal side, have you been traveling back and forth from Tennessee and New York a lot? Barkley been traveling back and forth?
Yeah. He was just up for a little bit. See, I was down over the holidays. And so, yeah, next trip will be down South Florida Drone Meetup. So that's what, 5 weeks away, actually.
I can't believe it.
So that's pretty close. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be April. It's going to be nice and warm. Looking forward to it. But, I have to give that groundhog some credit. Maybe he was right. Early spring.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
It happens.
Hey, Albie Drone just joined us too. Hey, what's up, Danny? Yo. Hey,
Yep.
I'm gonna just drop the link in the description if you guys want to join us. I'll drop it.
Yeah, I saw one video there that like an FPV drone destroyed what they call a Russian Terminator tank, a rare Terminator tank, and some other military vehicles in a hangar and stuff.
Oh man.
And and it just highlights the fact that, right? I mean, nothing is safe.
Just nothing is safe. I mean, if you leave your door open, geez, you're gonna get through there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just can't leave a window open. Can't leave anything open because you could fly right on in.
Not in war, because obviously can use them for bombs and such like that, but surveillance, obviously. And what if you attach little sensors onto them and just plop your drone out in the field somewhere, or drop sensors around? So now that you either got listening sensors or movement type sensors.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. On a side note, Ray Kelly, apologies. I thought I subscribed to your channel, man. I just now checked, and I had not, so I just subscribed. If you guys haven't visited Ray Kelly's channel in a while, don't forget to go over there, man. He does so much for us, and
Yep.
hope you're doing
Ray
better
says-
with your hip, man. Hope you're doing
Yeah.
better with your hip too. All right. On a personal note, I've been away skiing for about a month and doing Sunday and Film Festival stuff. So I am now just gonna remove this and add this. Oh wow! Look at his view. It's crazy.
In the event of an emergency, leave all belongings and proceed to the
View. Avoided it. Right on your heels. Stein's Way, and here's the view. Just incredible view. Ooh, you almost lost it down that bowl right there. Yeah, beautiful. I think there's more, but I want to stop here. Yeah,
That was nice.
That snow out there is just incredible. And I'll tell you, I got to check off a couple nice bucket list stuff. Got to ski a mountain that I hadn't skied. That was those narrow little trails. And later in the video, you see us going down. We're trying to pick a spot to drop down. You know, that we won't kill ourselves. At least at my skill level, anyway. Yeah, but the guy in front of me, he skis that mountain a lot, so he knows that area. And so I was like, you know what my skill level is? Just take me where you know I can get down. And he's like, I got your back. And I trusted him, and he took me to, like I said, one of those places that I wanted to go. And
That's nice.
so blessed.
So do you carry a drone with you when you're out there?
I will next time.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
Well, I
next
mean,
time.
just
because
get good.
nobody's there. I mean, nobody. I mean, because there's only very few people that want to venture up there. You know what I mean? So you don't see anybody else out there.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking in the sense like safety in a way.
Yeah.
Obviously to get good pictures and whatnot, but and content and whatever. But
the drone
yeah, it's
shots
fun.
the drone shots you saw there were done with the DJI FPV, because I just can get there fast and back fast, and the distances, it seems so close, but they're not. They are far away. You know what I mean? When you're up top, you're like, oh, I could just get down there really fast, or be really close. It is.
No, it's deceiving.
Yeah, it sure is. So, yeah, it was amazing. And Sundance Film Festival was amazing. I noticed that a couple of the Sundance Film Festivals from last year are now coming up on my feed from Amazon and in my phone feed. So those movies that were presented in 2023 are now coming up for
On
us
Amazon?
to view. Yeah, so some of the providers have purchased it.
Oh,
And,
nice.
yeah, and this year they featured a bunch of really good documentaries. One was a war correspondent, camera correspondent person, and it was a lady from New Zealand, big hair, Jenna. I mean, big hair. If you saw that lady, you know who she would be. She would like fearless, and the documentary was about her life. And I mean,
Cool.
and that she is the epitome of a cougar too. And she just loved young men and just was not shy about it at all. And you know what I mean? And she would have them everywhere, wherever she went. She was just wide open, and she lived with no fear. I mean, it was just
Oh, that's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome.
It was crazy documentary. And then there was another one called The Assassin. No, the Hitman. It was. I know that one's going to make it big. It was hilarious because of the fact that the Hitman was actually a set-up squad by the policemen, right? So it was a sting operation that the police officers ran in that city. So somebody was always trying to hire somebody to kill somebody, right? So the policeman would, pretend to be the hitman, and then as soon as the money was exchanged, you get arrested. And it's a complicated story about how this all happens with the hitman and the hitman, and they fall in love with somebody, the contract. But it was hilarious. I mean, it is dark comedy to its best. I mean, just just and Sue Bird. I don't know if you ever heard of Sue Bird. She's a basketball player. She won 3 national championships with the University of Connecticut. She's won like 5 gold medals with the USA team. She's won 3 WNBA championships, and she's married to Megan Rapinoe. But
Wow.
she looks like the girl next door. in all her life, she's been a true leader, but at the same time held her sexuality back from, because everybody presented her as the girl next door, you know. And I guess, 20 years ago when she was in college, that wasn't like the thing. It was there, but it was more of a closet thing, not like it is out now. So it was a story about her life and the influences on society. But not only that, her achievements of how well she managed her career and her life. And wherever she's gone, she has propelled people to win and be their best. So it was
That's cool.
a very inspiring movie. And there was a Ukrainian movie there. We're just talking about Ukraine and drones. And it was a small little city close to the bay. And there was a couple there, and they like to do porcelain dolls. And she liked the farm, and she painted the porcelain that the husband made. And the Russians came in and just took everything away, and they managed to get away, but took all their porcelain, making materials with them. But the story is not just about the porcelain. The way they told the story was amazing, because you would look at these porcelain figurines that they do over in Russia and, over in that part of Asia. And the movie the animation would, like, they'd be holding or be sitting on the ground, whatever. And the animation would start in that figurine and then turn into a movie or the scene of what they were trying to tell us. And, it was the story about this couple surviving and still keeping their sanity and their creativity in the war. I mean, he ended up volunteering to train sharpshooters, because that's what he retired from when he was in the armed forces. So he stayed behind, but some of the other people in the village are just, they were like doctors and nurses and everything. They've lost, the hospital was gone. They had nothing else to do, and they end up, joining the cause to fight for their country. It's an amazing story, and it's just incredible footage. How brave this couple was to freaking produce this thing. And while we were there viewing that for the volunteers, the couple showed up with a cute little dog. They had a cute little dog as part of the whole movie too, of the family. It was their family. It was basically their little kid. And they were there, and they shook everybody's hand. We stayed around and talked with them afterwards. It was just incredible.
That's great.
Yeah, so I didn't get to see but maybe 8 or 10 movies. Wasn't really into the movie, going to movies every night. I was just like tired because I was skiing a lot, Jenna, and I was just getting tired,
Some of that high altitude.
That too. I did get a headache and a little bit of a sinus headache, infection, but not bad. Just lasted for a day or so, and then it went away. But yeah, that altitude, unbelievable fun.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of good film type people, video type people, and content creators here in the community. We should all band together and put a little.
You're right about
something together and for submit it to Sundance.
You imagine? Well, look
Come up
what
with
we
an
have here from the other side of the world. Just like we were
Look at
just
that.
talking about Asia and porcelain little figurines and stuff. How you doing, Robbie?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Hey, Jenna.
Hey, Robbie, how's it going?
Weather's hot.
Hot.
Time for me to come back to Nashville. Next month, 22nd, I'll be home.
So tell us about Thailand. What's going on? What's happening?
Not much. Between holidays and Chinese New Year, which is funny because people are like, why do they have Chinese New Year in Thailand? Well, it's still kind of part of Asia, and there's a lot of Chinese here. So I think they do that out of respect. And of course, they want their money over here for them to buy stuff, because there are a lot of people that come from China over here. But man, just between vacation, things being shut down, it's like they have these temples that are everywhere. They're like churches that we have in the U.S. And they have, like, in the parking lots, they rent them out for like flea market type deals for people to sell food and products and stuff like that. And it's all over the country. It's just everywhere. And it's pretty cool because when you get in the cities, I mean, you can like go buy a TV there, radio, pair of shoes, socks. So it's kind of neat to see what each one of them sells. But the problem is it really kills the local stores because they sell stuff so cheap. It's like, you can get everything you want to eat for dinner for $3 for like $1.50, where the restaurants need to sell it for like $4 or $5 to make money. So it just kills the local businesses that are around that have brick and mortars. But yeah, so it's hot season now, and we probably got about another month and a half, and then it'll go into rainy season. So now that it's hot season, it's my time to come home. So I'll fly home on the 22nd or 23rd. I need to look at my ticket. And I'll be in Nashville.
Oh, so you got your ticket already? Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I usually do it to the way that my visa works out, and y'all were talking about war and people coming into countries and different stuff like that. Let me tell you, when I come into Thailand, as soon as I come, they give me 30 days. They give anybody 30 days, and they'll let you do an extension one time. After then, you have to fly out of the country and fly back in to get that 30 and get another extension. That's it for the flights. I could fly back to the U.S. and come back and do 30 days, but they won't give you any more extensions. Now, you could go to the border, like Cambodia, one of the other countries, and you can go through the border and come back in, and they give you 30 days. So you can work it out for about 8 months. I do a spouse visa through my wife, so they give them to me for a year. And I stay for a year, but before they give you the year, they have to have your bank book. And they look at your bank book before they give you the year, and they say, okay, you have to have so much money in the bank at this date. We're going to check back with you in 90 days. And as long as you still meet the requirement, we'll give you that 1 year. So it's not like they just stamp it and give you. Their laws are like great over here. And I respect them because I'm over here legally. I follow my guidelines. I pay for my visas. Every 90 days, we have to report into the police where we live, where the location, the owner of the house, everything. And we got people walking in the U.S. just walking over. Here, it's not like that. If you overstay and you don't check in, they will come find you. They will. They'll physically come and get you, and they'll take you and deport you out. And these other countries, USA really needs to tighten in on this immigration issue. It's bad. It is bad.
Yeah, it's like
no,
that
it
in
is.
Latin America too, right?
Oh yeah, and the thing is, it's like
no time.
A lot of the Spanish people, of course, they've got a lot of family that's probably in the U.S. Some of them illegal, some of them not, whatever. But the point is, it's like it's a really fine line of offending your friends because you're like, oh, he said something about illegals and my aunt's here, my uncle's here. Well, when we leave our country and leave the U.S., we follow guidelines when we go into other countries. I just wish they would do it coming into our country, but it just doesn't make any sense on what's going on right now within the world. Just if you look around at everything, it's like a dream. Like nobody wanted to take responsibility for what's going on. Explain to me why they would want all these people in our country. I mean, it's just like, and especially from a veteran standpoint, of all these people that are veterans that are trying to get, medical stuff done. Oh, we don't have the money to help you. And oh, we don't have the money to help you with food. But yeah, they're giving money to these people that aren't even Americans. Now, they always complain about us not having money to make it better for Americans. Well, where's the money coming to make it good for them? Because if we had that, America wouldn't be in the situation they're in right now. And it's not a Biden-Trump situation. It's come on, obviously. Look at the country now compared to when the Republicans ran. I mean, I'm not pointing at any names, but come on, honestly. And anybody you talk to about it that is a Democrat, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, they'll walk off. You know, somebody owes me some gas money. And it ain't the Republicans.
Well, let's switch subjects here. We're gonna let's see. We're gonna add this other part of the video and see what it looks like. All right. So this is my second day out. It started snowing. Conditions are a little iffy for skiing today because of visibility. Other than that, everything else looks good. Pretty cool. It's an area property.
Oh, wow.
You kind of can tell the skiing style compared to these skiers. They're moving a lot slower than I am. And I'm like, okay, get out of the way. So I'm trying not to run into any of them.
Al, we can't hear a word you're saying from all the snow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's too loud.
It's way too loud. Isn't it? Well, there is the end of it.
It
Anyway,
looks good.
so from that, so you can. What I was saying is, you can get a feel of my skiing style because I'm moving faster than most of the people there, right? And so one of the biggest problems is getting run over by people. And I don't want to be that guy that runs over somebody, okay? I've been hit, and that's no fun. And it is just so
Yeah,
irresponsible.
yeah.
Irresponsible for somebody to hit you because the downhill ski always has the right of way. And people are like, well, you got in my way. I said, no, I'm below you. I have the right of way to pick my way. If you're going to pass me, you have to pass me without running me over, okay? And
Yeah, you don't want to get into a Gwyneth Paltrow.
yeah, exactly. They'll pull your ticket. They'll take your ticket from you. And also, there's legal repercussions because when you actually get a ski lift ticket, people don't read all that fine print, but it's in there that you're liable for hitting somebody below you. Okay, so be aware of that because I ended up volunteering. I ended up volunteering to another thing to help out guides with autistic kids and blind skiers. They call them abilities, right? With people with abilities, and it's just been incredible gift to hang out with some of these people that have disabilities because they're out on that mountain just challenging themselves and overcoming a lot of things, where we are, think, it's hard. Just imagine not being able to see or not having an arm or not having legs or, having autistic issues. And then, that was actually my funnest guide help was hanging out with autistic kids for the morning. We took him out for 4 hours and showed him how to ski some of the bumps and some of the flats, and we broke out the groups in different skill levels. It was so much fun how those autistic kids can just handle different situations. Yes, they can get triggered into, that anxiety state, but it was just, they're so cool. They're so smart. So it was a real pleasure watching that.
That's awesome. Did you get a lot of snow out there while you were there?
Last year when I'd landed, it was 248 inches. This year was 67 inches. But but we got probably 2 feet of snow in a month. So it wasn't bad snow coming down, but not like they're getting right now because of the Hawaiian, what do they call that? The Hawaiian, oh gosh, what is that?
What's it, El Nino? El Nino?
Yeah, the Hawaiian Highway, isn't it? Is that
Or like Pineapple Express or something.
Pineapple Express? Thank you. There it is.
I don't know, whichever one.
Yeah, Hawaiian pineapple. You got it. Good job. So, Robbie, I ended up buying one of those drones that floats, remember? And it's coming, right? So, remember that, remember Nick that found Dennis Lovelady's, Mavic 3? He was flying his waterproof drone. Remember, homemade waterproof drone?
Yeah, it's got little floats on the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's got the float, but it's a pusher props also too, by the way. And you strap the bottom of the drone, and you make it a pusher prop. So when it goes in the water, the battery's in the water, and the motors are in the water. Okay, and the floats are up top. So when you whomp it, it just propels its way right out of the water.
Wow.
Yes. So let me see if I can find it. And I think where did I find it? Was it Banggood site that I found it at? You remember, Robbie?
Now, did he build his or did he buy it?
He built his.
Yeah.
Banggood. Golly, I can't spell tonight. See if I can
FPV
pull it
is
up.
big over here. I mean, like big. So a lot of the guys waterproof a lot of their stuff because there's water everywhere here. Everywhere you look, just about. If your drone falls, the chances of it hitting water are like 80%, no matter where you are in this country, because there's water literally everywhere.
Yeah. So this one is not the same thing. I don't think. All right, let me bring it up and we'll look at it. Yeah, I think it is. This is the same thing. I'll pull it up. Let me share my screen with you. Okay. So if you look at here, see the
wow.
props, see the motors are on the bottom, and then they have the floats on top. And then what they're doing is mounting the camera and antenna up high. And so it's like a submarine, and you got a little snorkel on the top. You see that? And then you're plugging in because the battery's on the bottom. The plug is coming in from the bottom, so to the ST60 right there.
So I guess that's waterproof, that connection?
Yeah, this one is. How much was this one? We'll see if they got any other ones. This is the first $620. $630. Sorry. Let's see, what do they make? They call it a Hulk. Yeah, this is the one. Oh, and this is the waterproof DJI IQ-Sense. Oh, yeah, the Air 3 unit right there. So they waterproof everything right there. Ain't that something?
That's kind of cool.
It is. Let's see if they got any other pictures. Oh, you get different colors. What color you like?
Oh, purple.
Yeah,
Purple did look good.
Jenna's color is purple, by the way. Barkley, if you don't know that yet, you're in trouble. Yeah, see how they put the dang on it. Pretty nice, right? I can't wait to get it to play with. There's a couple other things in there we could talk offline that's coming with it too, but I'm not going to bring that up now. It's just a little inside. Yeah, so let's see if there's any other waterproof ones here that I saw.
Huh.
Yeah, but there's a waterproof unit, man. You could buy it. You could just order that thing right there. Dang. I'll have to put that in my cart.
It's kind of like a little modular sort of thingy.
Yeah.
Well, don't buy it there. Let me just get it and put it in my bag and bring it.
Yeah.
The little parts that I've got. It's easier.
Now, And buy a bunch of O3s too, air units, and bring those with you. Yeah, that I'll put a wish list together for you, Robbie. That'd be great. Yeah. So this is what I ended up purchasing. Yeah, something very similar to this. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, so you can be on your chair while you're jet skiing and with your FPV goggles on, and flying your drone.
Well, you could be chasing anybody on the water, all the ski bunnies, I suppose. What do you call the ski bunnies on water? Ski
Water bunnies.
Water bunnies, okay. Water bunnies on water. And what do you call the guys, Jenna? Hunks? Water hunks? What do the girls call the guy?
I don't know. Just wet and hunky.
Wet and honky.
Wet
There
and
you go. That sounds like Tennessean to me. Wet and honky.
When you heading to Tennessee, Jenna?
For good? Yeah, well, fall?
Oh,
Yeah, that's hopefully when the house will be done.
what area?
About an hour and a half southeast of Nashville in McMinnville. So,
Oh, okay, yeah,
yeah, this little place.
yeah. I'm in Hendersonville, right outside of Nashville.
Okay, I'm going to show you something else that I've been doing. This should be fun. Okay, this one will be fun. No mistakes allowed in this course. Kind of like yeah, no mistakes allowed at all.
Now, what is this?
Oh, bit the dust there in the water, right?
Well,
I know where you're at. I was asking where you were at, but now I see the buildings. I know where you're at.
It's Tobacco Row.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the run. Yeah, you just got to run this thing's true and straight. I broke an arm, and that's what my Frankenstein was. That first run, warm-up run, I broke the arm. Yep. That one, if you join me, if you guys want to fly that, I'll be glad to tell you. I got so many spots we could fly at now, guys. There, let's remove that one.
yeah, I'm just looking forward to it getting warmer out so that I can fly. I hate flying in the cold.
I know, especially if with the dexterity and cold. What gets your legs, your hands?
On my hands, I just that, and I don't know. I mean, like I know you can fly in a car. I mean, it's easier just to fly a
True.
camera drone in the car, but yeah, I don't know.
When
Maybe I
you
haven't
fly-
done it.
When you fly with Allison Adventure, one of the first times he took me, he said, "Hey, let's go down to Browns Island and go fly." He shows up with mountain bikes. I'm like, "What's that?" "Well, we got to bike a bit." We biked a bit, and he's like, "Let's leave the bikes here, and we got to walk now." I'm like, "What's next? We got to swim?"
You got to get to the spot.
just to fly the drone. We got to get all these routes where we're going to fly the drone at.
It's a triathlon.
Yeah.
Well, I've been finding more spots. Well, it's definitely going to, how your thought pattern changes completely once you start flying FPV, right, Jenna? I mean, once you start flying FPV, you're always looking at like, oh my gosh, that gap, that drop, that, it's just different way of looking at things. I can shoot the gap, come up with, do this and do that, versus the picture drone. It's just, you just put it up in the air and you look around,
Yep.
I don't know. What is your thought process of picking a place to fly your FPV at, Jenna?
Well, it depends on what I'm in the mood for, because I mean, photographer first. So, is there something nice to take a picture of, stuff or whatever? And then if not, I mean, so that's like one type of area. I mean, someplace more scenic, right? Or if you're just kind of going out just to fly around, then, I mean, for me and my skill level now, open area, not so much trees, but I want to get better. And it's only going to come with just, flying, but like I'm not terrible, but I'm not great either. So I'm still, and then I absolutely need to get better phase.
Gotcha. Let me see. I might be able to play something here, and I'm gonna quiz Robbie here in a second. Um,
Because this thing, when I flew it the first time, I bounced it like a basketball backwards down a road 3 times.
Let me see. I think I found something that you guys will like. Okay, so this is this weekend, Robbie.
Okay.
And I'm gonna share the screen here in a second. All right, let me get it keyed up. Here's my my flying mentor is at the stage. Here's Brian in the background, and I'm gonna hit the play button. Oh, there we go. So this is the GoPro bones on top, which is a GoPro 10 stripped down. And Robbie, you're still concentrating. I can see you concentrating there.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see exactly where it's at. I can't tell whether it's Innsbruck area.
Yeah, but you almost got it already. You'll know right off the bat as soon as I... Oh, it's wigging out.
Oh yeah, I know where you're at.
And mine is having an issue. There's a lot of lag.
That's a good place to fly. It's quick to get to.
So we've been learning to fly through this garage thing, but always a little worried I'm going to hit somebody. So it's that's what we've been trying to do, is just kind of do some easy flying, just kind of cruising through. So there we go. Let's see if there's anything interesting. Maybe this one. I don't know. Okay, so that's what we've been doing on the weekends. All right. Remove.
Nice.
Very nice. And got all my stuff kind of service. Oh, have you guys done or purchased any new frames? Anything? Anybody doing any special builds? Let us know. I mean, I'm looking for a 5-inch frame and a 4-inch frame to purchase. Because my 2019 build stuff is getting pretty old, pretty beat up, and have to switch it out. Jenna, you got that beautiful drone from South Florida Drone Meetup. It was unbelievable. Yep. How was that flying?
Good. Yeah. No, I haven't had a lot of chance to fly it, but I've flown it a little bit. Still in one piece, So that's good. So yeah, no, I like it. I mean, once it gets warm out again, I'm going to beat up on this thing because, like I said, I really do like that drone. And this is the older O2, and that's the O3, and maybe when like I'm looking forward to what comes out with the O4, like
What if
whatever
that's
that's gonna be.
scheduled to be out? You know,
I have no idea.
but the O3 is unbelievable already. With
Yeah, no, I don't know. Hopefully something will come out before they ban everything.
well, yeah, that's the thing is start buying before they ban everything, right? Because I've been thinking that we were talking about all this, how drones are changing, how war is, I don't know how to say it, but fought to some ways, right? Because now we have better eyes in the sky, but that everybody's going to be out there jamming signals and doing all this crazy stuff. But I'm thinking, when I'm out flying around and there goes a bus or there goes a car, I could like to follow it. But now that it seems a little strange to me because a lot of people are going to go, how do I know you're not putting something on there that could hurt me? You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that, as more and more of this drone technology that's lethal is being presented to the public now, how is that going to affect the mentality of the people that don't know how to
You get one
what we're
person
doing?
that's going to do that, and it's going to ruin it.
I
Yep.
know. I'm so worried
Everybody.
about it. Because if I'm thinking about it, somebody else is thinking about it. It's just the
Mhm.
way it is.
Hmm.
If I've thought about it, they're thinking about it for sure. So, because like we're flying at the park today with Rodney and Danny, and a sheriff, or was it a sheriff or was it a county police officer parked in the parking lot, like across from us. He was just watching us fly, and I'm flying my Frankenstein little 3.5-inch props on it. They're just so quiet. I mean, so quiet. You can't hear it. And I go, I know he's got his windows up. I could sneak up right behind him and look in his window, right? And then I thought to myself, oh my gosh, what if he thought I was out to get him?
That's right.
Then I really would be in trouble. You know what I mean? So those things come to mind now is like, people are going to be thinking that. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Your thoughts on that,
yeah,
guys? Your thoughts?
yeah. I mean, enjoy the hobby while you can.
Exactly.
Really.
When I was staying with Kathy, my sister, which lived real close to where I was at, the road behind him, we had an eclipse one night, and I wanted to take the Air 2 out and try to see if I could get it in the camera, just so I could see the moon a little bit. And we drove up to Kathy's school where she works, which is right down the road from where Al's at. And there was a policeman in the parking lot. Well, it was like 10:30 at night. So I thought, well, I better pull up and tell him what we're doing so there's not an issue. Well, he was facing the opposite direction, so I had to pull up behind him. I couldn't pull up in front of him.
Oh man!
So I started to pull up behind him just a little bit. He turned his lights on, spun the patrol car around, got behind me, and he said, "You don't ever try to block in a police officer, this or that." And I said, "Look, I'm just here. We're going to take a couple of drone shots." "Well, you're trespassing." I said, "No, actually, my sister is employed here. She works here. She has permission for us to be here to do that." And he never really questioned anything, but man, he went off. And I mean, it wasn't like I was like really close to him. It's just that I couldn't like get around to get in front of him. And maybe he just was mad because he was probably doing something in the parking lot he shouldn't have been doing. And I interrupted him. But yeah, people are real suspicious of the drones. And you get two kinds. You get some people that I think because they're not involved with it, they don't want anybody else to have fun. I think if they did it and experienced it, they'd have a different thought about flying the drones, where the ones that don't, they're just like, oh, it's those drone people again, like it's going to cause a problem. I mean, get over it. You're not that important. We're not that interested in what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, there's kind of two different kind of thought pattern for those individuals. Either you're going to hurt me or you're spying on me, right?
Right.
And we're like, neither one. You know, we're just out here enjoying the hobby of flying. It's like, I don't know about you guys, but when you get to fly, it's kind of a happy spot to be in. You know,
Well, it's
you kinda,
enjoyable. We're kind of in our own world,
yeah,
Mhm.
not in your world.
exactly. So
Yeah.
It's a little different here. The laws are really strict on flying drones. I mean, you can't fly a drone unless it's registered through CAT. You can't fly a drone if you don't have an insurance policy on each drone that you own. So it's like $150 a year, I think, for like 2 drones. And they have to be registered. You have to keep your actual paperwork with you. It's in a binder. It's got the name of the drone on it, what you're flying, all the information. It's so much more strict than it is in the U.S. Now on FPV, there's nothing, of course, but just on the GPS drones. And even when you're buying it through the company, like we get a lot of ours through Big Camera, which is like a Ritz type company, and they're the DJI dealer here. And we buy it through them, and we have to fill out so much paperwork. It's like trying to get a concealed carry license. You got to fill all this stuff out before they'll even let you. Even though you pay for it, you can't walk out without filling out all the information. They turn that into the government, and then of course you have to fill it out and show your receipt, and they match it up that you're the owner. And the same way when you get ready to sell the drones, you have to like go disable everything, cancel your insurance, put the new owner. So it's a lot different here, a lot more strict than it is in the U.S. But the difference here, my wife's nephew worked for the border police, and he had a Mini too, and he said, "Hey, do you want to go to the border with me with the police guys?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'll go with you." I didn't really know what he wanted. And I said, "When do we leave?" He goes, "Pick you up at 4 a.m. I'm like, 4 a.m.? What are we going to do? And he goes, "We're going to take the drones up." And I'm like, "At 4 a.m.? He said, "No." He said, "We'll wait till about 5:45 and launch him." And I'm like, "So what are we looking at?" And he goes, "We're catching the people from Myanmar crossing the mountains, coming over into Thailand." So they would use the drones and go up and actually see them with the drone and then radio to the police, "Hey, they're coming up the left side," to go intercept them there. And I had my Mavic 3, and the guys were like, "Hey, this thing's a Zoom. We need these." And you would think, people think, "Oh, Thailand, poor guys, this and that." Let me tell you, these people here, especially the government, they have money, like real money. So anything that they see that they like, they just buy it. The police buy it. So now a lot of them are flying Mavic 3 and the bigger DJI drones. I mean, they invest the money. They got their own groups. And it's funny here because it's like the big, I wouldn't say YouTubers here, because it's more like the production guys here that fly drones. They've got like automobiles with booms on them and stuff like that. They're like, you know, they're the big buyers of the products in China with DJI, not USA. Most of the YouTubers and different people that buy drones are buying the basic stuff, and they're on YouTube. These guys are spending, 150,000 a year on equipment, just to do their production stuff. So it's a different ballgame over here.
Yeah, that's serious stuff.
Yeah, our groups here, one of my groups I've got here on Facebook, I've got 125,000 members in it. That's a lot. And they're all, and I would say out of that, probably 75% of them are FPV, 25% are GPS guys, but it's packed with people. That's just one group out of 6. So I'd say between all the 6 groups, there's like 1 million users. And they're all in Thailand, every one of them. They're all from here.
Well,
okay, so I've seen it confuse my browser pretty well. It doesn't want to take any more input. It's like,
Stop.
it's done.
Yeah.
On top of that, it's 8:09, so it's a big hint that we're done. And we've had really a good time discussing this topic about drones and all the innovations that are coming and how they're going to be used in upcoming conflicts. Amazing stuff coming down the road. But talking about drones, though, I mean, just not aerial drones. Now we're seeing, submarine type drones, and now we're seeing the boat drones, and the the tank drones are coming. All of those are in the works. Big
You know,
time.
Al, I see a lot now. If you look and see, like, y'all seen a lot of stuff in Ukraine. It's like these guys are like making their own accessories for the drones to hold stuff, to drop systems and all.
Right.
So I think that maybe a lot of the accessory companies are trying to stay out of that field for the fact that they don't want to be on the accusing side of helping or working with somebody. But man, I've seen some wild stuff that it makes you curious how they making it. I mean, how are they doing a release on that drone to release something? What is it? A remote? Is it a radio? What's actually doing that? So it's kind of neat to see what they're doing. But they're making a lot of gadgets to hold stuff, and some of the stuff's pretty impressive on the FPVs because I mean, some of the stuff that it's lifting, it looks pretty heavy.
I know, right? And dovetailing what you just said, let me play this video here. Let's see where to go. Went over here. Yeah, this is about a delivery system. Let's see how it takes off. Look, it takes
Oh, wow.
takes off from the window.
It's like a bat.
Yeah, it's like these medical drones.
Yeah, look at that.
Like a little VTOL or whatever.
It's a
Yeah.
VTOL, and then it turns into a plane because he's going to hit the switch.
Wow.
And look at that thing cruise, man. Look at the nice engines. Oh, I see. They turned off. Oh, wow. That thing's coming in back into the landing pad right there on the
Now I wonder if that's automated where it goes there or whether there's actually a person there doing the controlling.
It looks automated to me. They're probably,
Yeah, you see the little, almost like the little barcode sort of thingy there.
yeah.
It's probably
Look at
aiming
that.
right for it.
Wow.
Oh, that's wild.
That is just wild. Let's see.
Great
that
idea.
landing.
You don't have to worry about traffic with that, do you?
There-
See, these are good uses for drones that I see that there's a big market for companies. But on the other hand, I guess a lot of what I'm thinking about is avoidance issues. I mean, finally, our skies are going to be like our roads are. We're going to have
Yeah.
so much traffic in the sky. How good is the technology on these in order to keep from, colliding with some of these things as time goes on?
Hold that thought for a second. Look at the nose of this thing. It's been repaired a few times.
Yeah.
It's all.
It looks like it's made of fiberglass or something.
Yeah, it's all
Foam,
taped up. Yeah, it's the
styrofoam.
foam. Yeah, the plain foam. Yeah. So that's. I thought that was a really good application. From the little bit of research that I did this afternoon after I, went flying, I was like, let me research this out, how people are using drones. And there's a lot of big freaking drones people are making too, also. We're obviously looking at the small stuff, but the big stuff people are making, it's just crazy. Crazy, crazy nice, really big stuff. Well, guys, we've had some fun, and I think we're going to end this live stream here soon. And I want to thank everybody for joining. Robbie, thanks for dropping in. Jenna, always
thanks for
good
having
to
me, guys.
have you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and let's start making some videos and putting them on YouTube.
That'd be good.
That'd be good. Okay. All right. You guys have a great week, okay? Let's wave to everybody goodbye. All right. Good night, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you, everybody.